the way. If you see him, send the annoying doctors to hell. That's the down one, right?
Yeah, they're going down.
Good. And remember, if you hear a collar go off, Batman's here.
Joker's men are all wearing the security collars. I'll need to take out the operator first.
Greetings, everybody. I am Batman, stuck in a very bullshitty stealth section. So instead of me commentating over the game, I'll have to hand that duty over to Solidus-Skully, here to welcome you back to Batman Arkham Asylum. And, yeah, I do kind of mean what I say in that aspect, because, this is one of those stealth scenarios where it's pretty much if you get spotted by anyone, it's, game over. It's, kind of in a similar manner to the earlier, stealth section where, again, if one of the goons spot you, Harley kills Gordon, except in this case it's, well, if you get spotted, then the goons will drop the characters down into a pit, and I suppose, while we do have this section, I might as well air some grievances on how I really don't like stealth games that kind of emphasize the whole, penalty mechanic of, oh no, you got spotted, instant game over, because fuck it. I mean, again, I understand the principle that it's meant to incentivize you not getting caught, but at the same time, though, it feels very, very lazy. I mean, again, if we're gonna go for any sort of stealth games in terms of, you know, what happens, is that, you know, kind of stuff like Metal Gear Solid or Assassin's Creed, where, again, you do have enough combat mechanics that you can get out of any given situation. Even some aspects that, you know, Batman in and of itself, the Arkham series actually has, is that, again, the combat's decent enough so you can get out of any jam if you're quick enough, if you do happen to get caught, but, you know, the game is also a lot harder if you just go in, you know, with the fucking stealth and grace of a bull in a china shop, so, again, it kind of naturally incentivizes stealth by, you know, having you play better, be a little bit more, you know, cunning in terms of your, you know, in terms of your approach to certain situations, but yeah, this is just kind of an example of the developers going, fuck it, we need a gameplay segment, if you get caught, game over. Whew, that's fucking good. That's enough game development for one day, time for dinner. So yeah, that was my little ramble about how instant game over shite is, well, shite. Again, it's nothing too difficult, because again, if you pretty much just take out the operator right here, then you're pretty much free to take out the rest of the goons, no harm, no foul. But at the same time, though, I do still feel as if the whole instant game over for failing a stealth section is just a bit shitey. I mean, making it harder for the player if they get caught, good, because it naturally incentivizes you to play a little bit more carefully. But instant game over is just, I mean, I get it, but it's also just a wee bit pish. Then again, I suppose there are also, like, degrees of variances for this stuff. Like, again, if the game's unfairly skewed against you, then it becomes a lot more bullshit, whereas other times, again, if you're reliable and, you know, sticking to the game's mechanics, it can sometimes be at least okay-ish. I don't know, I mean, just as I've gotten older and I've played more and more, you know, stealth games, I've just found that whole sort of instant game over design to be very, just very ham-fisted and very, just lazy game design. I mean, there are games that actually, sort of utilize the approach that I was talking about beforehand, you know, the game becoming more difficult if you get caught. Forbidden Siren is actually a key example of that. Where, again, for the most part of that game, like, I mean, again, if you do get caught, again, you are pretty much forced to think on your feet and stop enemies from trying to kill you, but again, if you are crafty and you are patient, then again, you can actually set a lot of chain events in motion and, you know, make your way across the stage, no harm, no foul. And yeah, this is pretty much the doctors that were also helping Dr. Young with the Titan formula, so yeah, she also seemed to have a staff of her own, which, again, I guess it kind of declares that this wasn't mutually exclusive to just Quincy Sharp and, well, Dr. Young herself, so yeah, these guys were also duped into working for the Joker, and, yeah, judging by that little thing right there, their life expectancy is in negative numbers, so let's give them as much screen time as we can.
I'm sorry. I thought I was working for Dr. Young. I had no idea Joker was involved until he burst in the lab.
Where is the lab?
Back over there. I always get buzzed through. There's a hidden door, but, well, you know, it's hidden.
I'll find it. Stay here.
Yeah, so now we pretty much have to find the entrance to the lab, but since we have Harley Quinn's DNA prints on file, yeah, we can pretty much easily figure out where that is, and, by the way, I do apologize for my commentary / word choices are a little bit slurred because, yeah, as we are slowly approaching summertime in Australia, yeah, the heat, kinda gives me a bit of a fucking brain shutting down motif, Fender. what is this? Yes, quite curious, but yeah, I do apologize if some of the quality isn't quite up to snuff, but it's fucking hot, and ugh. So anyway, let's just take a look at this. I get the wrong thing because I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, this is pretty much meant to be a reference to Killer Moth, one of the Batman antagonists from the 1950s, and pretty much an iteration of a character where pretty much in the years since it's pretty much been like a pseudo-Batman ripoff with a silk gun, which I suppose could potentially make him like the Batman equivalent of evil Spider-Man, but yeah, given his costume design and how a lot of the iterations have treated the character over the years, he's pretty much just like, he has an inferiority complex and sucks, so he's pretty much a Z-tier villain. Which, I mean, is quite weird, because, like, I mean, you do still see some villains like, you know, Great White Shark, or, you know, even Firefly, actually, which, you know, who tend to get, like, some very dark characterizations, but I have yet to see one for Killer Moth that doesn't treat him like either as the guy who drives the van, or, you know, the sort of villain who's, you know, in any way competent. I don't know, it could be something for a future Batman game, I suppose. It's weird, the only other game that I recall ever actually doing anything with Killer Moth was, surprisingly enough, the Lego Batman video game where he had a boss fight where... I can't remember what it was, I think like you used Batman and Robin to light up some generators and attracted Killer Moth to a light, then take down his flying wings and then beat the shit out of him. In a level that was otherwise quite good, it ended on a very pishy boss fight because... fuck it, Killer Moth, I guess. Queast. Anyway, we finally found the entrance to Joker's secret lab, so let's take him down.
Well, look who's discovered our secret lab. Since you've made it this far, let me show you what I've cooked up.
So, you remember the Bane boss fight from much earlier on in the game? Or even that Titan boss fight we also fought earlier in the game, which was just a rough experiment? Well, these ones aren't going to go down by heart attacks, and nor are they going to, you know, get kowtowed by the storage tank that Bane uses. Instead, it's pretty much just a giant thingamafucker shooby-doo where you pretty much just have to beat up a certain segment of their health, run away whenever they're competent, when they charge, use a batarang, and it's pretty much all she wrote. You've got to make sure that you get them prone just like that, get a 3-hit combo, and jump on top of their back and pretty much just have a game of rodeo clown. Just walk around, smack the Titans on the arses, and pretty much just take down segments of their health. There is a way to segment this, you know, you kind of knock down one segment of their health and then use the down Titan to knock out the other one in a, you know, sort of blow-by-blow kind of way, but that's really all the excitement that these Titan battles offer. I mean, they do change out the aesthetics just enough so that it isn't just white noise gameplay, but likewise, though, it's just very repetitive design, really. I mean, it's clear that they only had one specific thing in terms of their boss designs that they could really go with. We will be seeing another in a little bit, but apart from Goon Rushes, as we saw with Harley Quinn earlier and the whole Titan thing, yeah, that's pretty much all they have. I do kind of wish that blowing up the Titan canisters would have dealt extra damage, but no, all you get is just a cool little scene like that where you blow them up. And it's really kind of telling, actually, about how disappointing these boss fights are, because in Arkham City, they actually give the Titan rodeos, as I'm going to be calling them, like a little bit something extra to do. Like, you can use, like, a ground pound, you can... I can't remember, I think you can charge with them in Arkham City as well, but here all you pretty much get to do is just ride around with them. You can technically use it to bolster your combo, and while you are riding the Titan, your combo won't fade away after a few seconds, so... There is that, I suppose, but apart from that, it's just a very disappointing set of boss fights that either shows the limitation of the combat scheme, or that, you know, Rocksteady just weren't really adept at creating bosses that they could use, you know, with the rhythm-based gameplay that they had set up for this game, so... Yeah, but then again, that's probably one of the biggest criticisms about Arkham Asylum in terms of anything to, you know, really sort of be negative about. I mean, we do at least get one other boss fight that is at least slightly unique, but even then, that's also nothing to write home about, and spoiler alert, it involves the one female villain that we haven't actually, well, seen just yet. Or at least do anything negative to Batman, so... Wheesht.
Oracle, I've destroyed the Titan production facility, but Joker escaped with enough to cause us...
Oops, sorry about that. Just gotta go over here and get a little upgrade, so we'll continue our conversation with Oracle later. Yeah, we'll get some more health. Oh, gotta answer my pants. Ah!
Real problems.
Just when you think it can't get any worse.
They've been using a venom plant hybrid to create the Titan strain. The plant's the key. And there's only one person on Arkham Island who can help us.
And what makes you think Poison Ivy will help you?
If her plants are at risk, she'll listen. I have a sample of her pheromone signature on record. She'll be somewhere in the gardens. I'll track her down.
So, how's everybody been doing? I suppose we have the thumbnail for this video, unless I plan to use a different one. But yeah, this is also pretty much where we get our penultimate gadget of the game, and one that allows us to get more of the Riddler trophies. It's curious though, do you have to access this, or does this, Oh no, wait, yeah, you pretty much have to access this, realize you can't go across, and go, how am I gonna get across here? And then Batman decides to use a gadget, even though he could easily use the lift and follow Joker, even though, pretty sure that's locked, cryptographic sequencer could fix that, but fuck it. Prolong the boredom, prolong the plot, stop Joker from using his Titan formula and ill-gotten gains to do evil. And before you think about it, no, we're not going to be using the Batwing to fly across the island or do anything cool with it. We're pretty much just here to get a gadget and skedaddling. Yes, that's right, he's going to blow up Arkham. That'll stop the Joker once and for all. Yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote, really. And with that, we get the line launcher, pretty much allowing us to go from to and fro from one place to another across high surfaces, provided that you have one point of the tether connected to the other, and yeah, all of the Riddler trophies will soon be ours. Fare thee well, Batwing. We'll see you a little bit later. Gotta say though, the moonlighting in this game is actually quite lovely. I don't know if that has anything to do with the upresing of the Return to Arkham ports, but even the original though was quite snazzy. But yeah, this is pretty much what the line launcher does, go from one place to another. Later games would eventually flesh this out where you can actually crawl up on the line, but yeah, you can actually slow down your descent speed, I believe, or actually no, I don't think you can in this game. I think that might have been also something included in Arkham City and Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins, Arkham Planet, Arkham World, Arkham Penis, whatevers. And yes, because their life expectancy was about as long as a cancer patient who's having another cigarette, yeah, the doctors are dead. Oh no. And now we pretty much just have to track down Poison Ivy so we can find out more about the plans that Joker is using to counteract that Titan, which pretty much makes up the rest of the pod. And I will say, out of all the segments in the game, this is also the segment that is by far the most padded. Because again, like, I mean, apart from talking to Poison Ivy, we also have a segment where we pretty much discuss with Oracle, let's go off and find Killer Croc, because he will know the answer, because we established he's in this game and we have to do something with him eventually. And it's pretty much just a runabout sugar-me-doo of just running around the botanical gardens, fighting enemies, and prolonging the boredom, really.
It's all right, my darlings. I'm here now, my poor darlings. Yes, I know he's found us, but I won't let him hurt you. I'll kill him first.
Ivy, I know Dr. Young mutated these plants to produce venom.
Yes, and I heard it through the grapevine the evil woman paid the price.
I need you to help me create an antidote.
Why should I? Let Joker have his fun. I'll enjoy watching you squirm.
You've been in the dark too long. Every plant on this island will get the same unless you cooperate.
There's a plant growing deep in Arkham Island. Only it can counter the effects of this Titan strain.
Where do I find it?
Oh, in Killer Croc's lair. You didn't think it would be easy, did you?
Go back to your cell, or I'll be after you next.
And I'll be waiting.
So, that's pretty much that. Very hanging on the end of the cutscene, really, but yeah, don't worry, there's no Riddler trophies inside Poison Ivy's little hideaway over there. What would I call that? The secret garden? Well, I mean, there's a secret garden in all of us, so really I don't know what's going on, and whoa, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Batman! I don't know why I transitioned from the Twilight Zone to that, but acqueeshed. Yeah, no Riddler trophies in there. The door's pretty much locked until you go back there for a boss fight, at which point the area probably gets fucking destroyed, but yeah, that pretty much tells you what you need to know. There's a different boss fight, and because of the fact that they're not going to have a hulking Poison Ivy go all out at Batman, yeah, we pretty much have one unique boss fight in the game, and that's that. Now here's something interesting you can do, and I don't know if I showed this off beforehand, but what they intend you to do is use the line launcher, but if you use the back claw, we can send all these goons down to have a nice little swim. And yeah, you do actually hear a little splash sound effect, so don't worry. They are quite safe, unless they don't know how to swim, in which case, sorry, Batman can only save those who save themselves. Cop-out excuses. But yeah, I mean, if they are aware of your presence, again, they will pretty much try and dodge out the way, but if you are quick with your back claw swipes, then yeah, you can pretty much just get the drop on them, and, you know, despite how many times they dodge out of the way, we can pretty much pull them in one by one down there while they do their little Neo thing where they're like, oh, whom, dodge out of the way. So, yeah, while we're looking at basically what's the equivalent of a fucking screensaver at this point, I might as well talk about a little something else that I don't know. Well, I mean, I suppose the fact that this game is also, well, at least this section of the Botanical Gardens is a little bit padded. I mean, I wouldn't say Arkham Asylum is a very long game. You know, me saying this as we're fucking 15 parts. Actually, no, 17 parts into this, I think. I might be misremembering the number, but again, even though we are a fair amount of parts into the game, it's not too long of a game, but at the same time, though, this section, above anything else, feels the most padded, so yeah, it's just a little bit tiresome. Because, I mean, again, not only do we have these goons to deal with, but we also have some back in the previous area where we, you know, strewn up some guards and pretty much have to defeat them all over again, apart from more backtracking, so, would you really begrudge me for, cutting ahead here? I mean, it is technically more of the game, but I'm also thinking more so in terms of, would I have anything interesting to say? Because, I mean, they really don't... In terms of, like, plot revelations, we pretty much have everything that we need to know at this stage. I mean, the plot escalation doesn't really happen until the end of the part where Arkham Island gets severely fucked up and Poison Ivy obviously makes her presence known, but... I don't know, really. It's just, it's a pretty straightforward scenario, really. And I thought I could just go through this area, but oh no, debris all over the place, so we can't leave, because fuck it. So this also requires us to backtrack down the sewer area, through the looking glass into the fire, into the frying pan. Yeah, whatever really, it's, just isn't very exciting. And, yeah, by the way, that janitor guy we saw beforehand, yeah, he's dead. So, yeah, how's everybody been doing? I mean, we don't really have too much of Arkham Asylum really left to go at this stage. I mean, as soon as we're done with the intensive treatment area, which is, pretty much our next area of choice to go to, which then leads down to the sewer area, we're pretty much the home stretch of the game, really, so... Yeah, I mean, I've already pretty much recorded all that I have to in terms of some of the bonus content, and, well, I mean, I suppose I might as well say this here in terms of amending a point that I brought up beforehand, because you remember how I said earlier that the footage I had of the Joker PS3 DLC side content stuff was sadly corrupted, and, well, actually, no, I accidentally deleted it, so, yeah. I said I was going to re-record it, but, fuck it, I'm lazy. So, yeah, you're not going to be seeing the Joker DLC Sugar Me Do, because, honestly, I can't be fucked. I might do it a little bit later on my own time, and possibly record it as a bonus video somewhere down a couple of months later, but at this stage, I've already got, you know, 2 massive games. I mean, I've already got the rest of Arkham Asylum to finish, and then I've also got Aqua and Terror Story of Birth by Sleep, and my plan is, at this point, to, you know, finish Arkham Asylum, then continue on with Aqua Story, then Terror Story, finish off Birth by Sleep by the end of the year, hopefully, anyway. And by the time all that's finished up, then, well, just move on to 2024. Because, I mean, I have got a bunch of fucking shit to do. And that also includes work, because I really can't spend any more time on this game for the time being, because I've got a fucking flooded work schedule, and holy fuck. I just want to go back to sleep. But yeah, this is also padding that the game doesn't really need, so, you're pretty much stringing up goons you're pretty much doing the exact same thing here, it's just that the Joker's like, oh no, slow Batman down, boys! Oh yes, he left up some bat feces! Oh no! Fuck it, you know what, I'm gonna string up this goon and then I'm gonna cut ahead, because you've pretty much seen all of this shite before, so, teleporting...
Oh, gotta say, the results are a little different. Shall I give her another? I think she wants it. They don't call Ivy for nothing, do they, dear? I was hoping for a 40-foot killer plant, but you don't always get what you want, do you?
Yes, well, might we, Joker. Anyway, on that note, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on Batman Arkham Asylum, yeah, things have changed quite significantly. Catch you next time.